Good evening to all our listeners, and you're listening to the Dan and Murray Show. And hope you all have had a lovely week.
Yeah.
So anyway, for them, we've got lots on tonight. Anything exciting to tell us about?
Yeah, so we do. So on tonight's show, we've got an interview with the extremely talented Jay Dunn and his producer, Tony Long. So we're also going to be having music from the man himself, Jay. We're going to be having music from Adventure Salvador, Elias Kid. And so there's going to be a running theme on tonight's show. So all the music that we're going to play is all being produced, mixed and mastered by Tony himself. So with that said, we're going to kick off with Adventure Salvador and their track, Retro Man. Salvador and their track Retro Man. So this is taken off their latest album, Welcome to Our Village. So this track in particular received rave reviews, and you can check out the website at www.adventuresalvador.com.
Right. So next coming up, we have got the lovely Jay and Tony, which we met way before lockdown.
Yeah, at the castle.
Yeah.
That was at their EP launch, Jay's EP launch.
That's right, yeah. That was an excellent evening, actually.
Oh, we had such a fun time, didn't we?
Yeah, they were lovely.
Mm-hmm. Jay, Tony, hello.
Hiya. Hey, hey.
How are you both?
Very well. I've not spoke to you in ages.
It's
Yeah.
been a long time.
It's been a while.
Too long.
How you doing? You good?
Yeah, I'm very well.
Excellent, excellent.
So tell me, so you have a lot of things going on at the moment, the two of you.
Yeah, we do. Jay, you want to talk about some of the stuff we're working on?
Yes, back in the studio on the 16th, carrying on with some tracks for what will hopefully be a vinyl only.
Yeah. So like we're gonna try to make it like a collector's kind of thing. So like if you want that record, like the only way to get it will be to buy a turntable. We're trying to help out the turntable industry.
Yeah.
So we're just going to put my Circle of Five stuff on it and then add some other tracks to the other side.
So Jay, let me ask about Circle of Five. How did it come about?
They were just a selection of songs that I'd written.
Yeah.
About death and loss and other happy things. And
yeah, like if you listen to the lyrics of the songs, like you feel like, wow, that's some dark stuff. but the music itself, it doesn't give that off, you know. It's like, oh yeah, all right, I can listen to this, but yeah, it's some dark stuff.
But yeah, so one side's going to be about death. The other side's going to be about
pain.
Yeah, the pain. I've forgotten the question now.
Well, what I was going to say is like.
Sorry, you go.
No, like I was just gonna say that Jay came into the studio originally just to record tracks for himself. It was never meant to be anything more than something for him to just listen to at home, like just to kind of get his stuff down so he can listen on his own, and then we got to talking about making it like an actual record. We're like we should actually look into this and hire people out because he didn't have a band.
Yeah.
He played with Sonny. I know he's playing with Sonny, and he knew Abby, but he didn't have a band, so we just started pulling people in and then just did it, in the studio, like wrote it in the studio.
First time you both met, just working in the studio together.
Yeah. I had never met Jay before the studio. He was literally just he was somebody who booked the studio through Big City Jacks, which is the studio that I work out of in Bury. And Colin, he's the guy who runs the studio. Like he's just like, hey, I think you might want to work on this one. If you want to come in and work with this guy Jay. So I came in, and then we like that's how we met. And then by the end of the day, I was like, yeah, you should maybe really look into turning these into real songs as opposed to just ideas.
No, it's incredible.
Yeah,
I loved it when I went to HMV and I saw you playing live. That was
cool.
good. It was a great gig.
It was good. Yeah,
and
I like it.
When you started playing as a young man, did you always want to be a musician, or?
I'm still a young man.
I
know. I was one of the very few who took up music as an option at school.
Yeah.
Everyone else saw it as a geeky thing back then.
Is that right? Like were you like in like in concert band kind of thing, or were you like was it like theory classes?
It was pretty loose, really, but
you see it, right?
Oh, it's opening. It's opening again.
Yeah, I know.
No, yeah. When you got to a certain age at school, you took options, and no one else took music because they saw it as people saw it as a stupid thing, even though everyone listens to music.
I know.
Well, I know it'll be a different ballgame now, but I took it then. I was playing piano, guitar, and I always wanted to do it as a career.
Yeah.
Because I love listening.
It's funny because like for me, like I was I originally went to uni for theater. Like I was originally gonna go down that route. But like my life up until that point was all music. Like my mom played piano. Like we had an upright in the house, so there's always like music being played, and I learned how to play stuff. And I did music courses in secondary, but then like once I really started doing the acting thing, I didn't like the scene. Like I just didn't like it, you know. Like I was like, wow, like everyone's really, really, really fake in this scene. And
Like, you're a musician before you're an actor.
yeah. So I mean, yeah, like I was definitely like playing music well before I got into acting.
Yeah.
And then did the acting thing for a bit, like some off Broadway stuff and some touring
Oh.
stuff, and I just didn't like it. Like I wasn't into the scene, you know, like people just kind of like just like kissing each other's asses, and people who maybe did like some commercial or something, you know, expecting you to hold them in high regard because you hadn't done something like that. It's like, well, I played Macbeth in Central Park, so you need to. It's like, what? It's like, no, I don't need to do anything. There was a lot of that, and then I was like, I don't like this, and then I started, you know, playing music more, and you know, but yeah, you know, like originally not what I was going for, you know, and then now it's all I do.
We used to stay away from all the theatre student boys and girls at our performance college. So all the musicians would just be sat in the corner, very depressed, playing the guitars, and they'd be all skipping past like Glee Club.
Yeah. All the musicians like just like mustachioed, and just
Looking
like shaggy
miserable.
hair.
We looked miserable, and the theatre girls were always thinking, but they were probably the most depressed.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: were all the theater girls into Disney? Was that like a thing? Because that was a thing at my university. All the girls were like, they had Disney posters in their dorm rooms. Like, really? Come on. It's terrible.
Yeah, that's who was. I went to acting school.
Did you?
Did you have a Disney poster?
Yeah. She had a Little Mermaid poster, most definitely up on the wall.
I didn't have any Disney though.
No, Disney.
I was too edgy. I'm joking.
Yeah, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, Jean-Claude Belgian Waffle Van Damme.
But so let me ask you both about your musical influences when you were both younger. So like, I don't know. So Jay first, Tony after, like.
When I was maybe before the age of 15, 16, I used to just listen to everything that my dad listened to.
Yeah.
Which was a big mix of Beatles, Simon and Garfunkel, all the singer-songwriter sort of thing. And then he introduced me to R.E.M.
Yes.
About 16.
You love R.E.M.
They were the first band, and I became a bit too infatuated with them. I think it's because it was my first love, and they were mine, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And when I got into
like, it's just incredible music. Like the way they mix it all, like it's just
yeah. Well, I was lucky as well because by the time I got into them, when I went into the music shop, they'd already done about 6 or 7 albums before that, so I could just dive in and listen to them. So they were my influence. That's all I really listened to.
Mm-hmm.
And then it stayed with the American side of things.
That's right.
And Tony, how about yourself? What inspired you?
Uh,
What music were you listening to before you started producing and playing?
So for me, like it was kind of the same thing where I listened to a lot of what my mom listened to, like definitely more into her musical taste, because she was a pianist. She was into like Elton John, and she was into Billy Joel and stuff like that. So there was like a lot of that in the house. And then, you know, that kind of started going into more like heavier rock. I started getting into like heavier music.
Yeah.
Like I was really into Aerosmith when I was a kid, and that kind of morphed into Metallica, and then it just progressively got heavier and heavier. The first bands that I was playing in, though, were all punk bands. Like I was also really heavily into Green Day when I was a kid. Funny enough, so I've got an uncle who's a DJ, and when I was a kid, I always wanted, like he does house music and listen to hip hop and all that stuff, and I wanted to emulate him. Like I wanted to be into the stuff that he was into, but I could never like really be into it. Like I was forcing myself to do it, and somebody had bought me some hip hop CD, or maybe I bought it or something as a kid, and I hated it. I absolutely I thought it was dreadful.
Really?
And then another friend of mine had bought the Green Day record. They bought Dookie, and they're like, "I hate this," and I was like, "I'll swap it. Like I'll listen to anything." So they gave me that, and then I learned everything on that record on guitar. And then like after that, I mean, it varied. I mean, I fronted a metal band for a while.
Yeah.
I played in you know, like a screamo band at some point in like the early 2000s. But
What's
for the most part,
So
yeah,
Tony,
yeah, yeah,
for people who don't know, you're a musician before you became a producer, and you had your own studio and the rest of it.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah,
You play bass and guitar and
yeah, yeah. So like I can play drums, guitar, bass. I can play the flute. Like I can read music. Yeah, like that. That's how I learned how to read
yeah,
music.
that's so
Yeah, yeah,
cool.
yeah, 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 yeah. So like my mother, she really wanted me to learn how to read music,
Yeah.
and so she suckered me into taking flute lessons, and that's how I learned how to read music.
Cool.
But yeah, like I've
And
played a
so were
little
you
bit of everything.
classically trained first then?
That what?
Were you classically trained?
No, I taught myself how to play drums. Mom was part of a church choir, and it was one of those with like the drummer and the bass and guitars and keys and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So she saw that I really dug the drums, and she actually started a youth choir to kind of keep me busy. Like it was like, you know, yeah, like I was little. I was like maybe 12 or something, but I was playing drums every Sunday, like or 2 times or 3 times a week or whatever it was. But I taught myself how to do it, and then while that was happening, she signed me up for lessons to like learn how to read.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah. So it like music's played a really big part in most everything that I've done for
And
most
just
of my
very
life.
quickly, so how did you go from being a musician to going into production?
Um, I was in a band. Well, like by that point I'd been in multiple bands, and I started thinking about longevity, you know, and like I mentioned so far. So like, you know, my musical taste goes from like, you know, Elton John all the way to, you know, like really heavy stuff, like heavy music, you know, like Code Orange or Necrogoblicon and just weird stuff. So, but I can never be in a band that plays, you know, just classical rock music or just metal or just punk. But I love them all. And so I kept finding myself being in bands and ultimately at some point not being very happy because I was like, but I kind of want to do something else.
Yeah.
With production, it kind of allows you to do that, you know. So I can produce a band like Jay's band, you know, and I love what we've done, you know, like where it has that Americana feel and a little bit of Dire Straits, and for me like a little bit of Dawes as well, like bands that I really like.
Ray's
But
voice is
then
stunning.
yeah, you know, and like REM, like these are all bands that I also grew up listening to. But then I could also work with a band like Adventures of Salvador, who's like full on kind of like
The
like a
opposite.
post-punk, yeah, like complete opposite. Like they're kind of like the Cramps meets B-52s, you know, and I dig that as well. So it allowed me that flexibility to be able to jump between projects and kind of, you know,
100%.
keep happy, you know.
So let me just ask you, so for a lot of people who don't know, you were born in New York.
Yeah,
You made the big move to Manchester.
yeah.
And was it because of the music scene or?
It was well it was
Hey.
well, so my wife, she's from Manchester,
Okay.
and so yeah she is from Cheshire,
Yeah.
and I met her in Brooklyn, you know, and then like when it got to that point where it was getting serious,
Yeah.
and we were thinking about where we wanted to do, you know, the next move, we chose Manchester. Partly because it'd be easier to live out here as opposed to New York, because New York is crazy right now.
Yeah.
But also the music scene in Manchester played a part of that decision because of what I do. I was like, well, I need to be able to do what I do. And I remember visiting Manchester like once and going out and checking out like you know, a couple of venues and stuff. Went to like Deaf Institute and whatever, just to kind of get a feel. And the music scene in Manchester is great. I mean, like you have a lot of really talented musicians doing some really cool things.
Massively.
And for the most part, like I would say that most everyone that I've met is like dedicated to their music, you know, like they're in it. They're like, this is what I do, as opposed to saying, you know, well, by day I'm this, and then this is kind of like my hobby.
Yeah.
Maybe something will come of it, but no, it's like here, it's like people like really dive in, and New York, it's harder to find that, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Because it's expensive. New York is crazy expensive, you know. So
You need to just have it somewhere.
yeah. So like, I mean, to live in New York, I mean, as a musician, I mean, like I remember at one point I had had 5 roommates. You know, it was like 5 of us or whatever living in a flat. I mean, it was big enough flat. Like we weren't in each other's space too much. But in order to afford to live in New York, to be able to do music, you know, like those are the things that you'd have to do. There's no way that you could live completely on your own and support yourself with music in New York, you know. And the people that do, it's a very, very small amount of people, like super small, incredibly small.
Very expensive, I can imagine.
Yeah.
Your studio, like, how's that come about?
That was just dumb luck. I was making phone calls, you know, just contacting different studios, seeing who needed an engineer, and one of the ones that I contacted was Big City Jacks up in Barrie. I remember telling my wife that I was going to go there too. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go check out this studio in Barrie. She's like, Barrie, that's like really far. I was like, no, I'll be fine.
Yeah,
She's
where
like,
were you living at the time?
The what?
Where were you living at the time when she was like, Barrie's so far?
Well, so like we were in Cheshire. So at the time I don't think we had a car at the time. So I would have had to have gotten up there on bus and tram.
On your bus? Oh,
Yeah. So like that's how I did it.
so
Yeah. Like
awful.
I think actually for Jay's sessions and stuff, like I wasn't driving up yet. I'm still taking a tram and a bus, and it was just yeah. Oh yeah. I was committed, man. I was like, I'm gonna be there for you, man.
That's incredible. And so,
No wonder you were late, man.
huh?
Yeah. Because if I missed the tram or something like that, or missed the train, like I was screwed.
Jay, I'll be 5 minutes, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I promise I'll be there.
I will be right
Trust me on
there.
it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was tough. It was tough, but I mean, like, you know, yeah, like you commit yourself to your artist, you know. You're like, yeah, like we're going to do it.
And so,
I love buses.
can I ask very quickly about you and Jay's working relationship? And I know you both met in the studio.
Yeah.
We actually met on
Great
Tinder.
friends.
I thought it was Grinder. Didn't we meet on Grinder?
No. Now probably everybody thinks so.
Yeah. Met him on Grinder. Didn't really work out, and then we got to talking.
It's better being friends.
Yeah. He's not really my type, but you know, he's quite talented.
So Jay, yourself. So you started playing music, as you said. I think you won an award or something. You went for when you have those stages at school, and you're in bands and stuff at a young age.
Did I win an award? I can't remember.
You must have won something.
You must have won something. You told me.
Did I win something? Did I tell you that?
Yeah, you told me.
The lies catch up with me. I'm trying to think about one. I've just won so many.
Battle of the Band or something.
Oh yeah, we've won.
Battle of the Band or something like that.
Oh yeah, we won something where we played. I was doing some songs. We played at City's Ground at the Etihad.
Yeah.
So we did a big gig there. Trying to remember what else we won.
It's fine. But what inspires your lyrics?
I sound like a liar now. Go on, what inspires my lyrics? I used to be terrible. I used to be terrible at writing lyrics, but then after a while, I just started to write what it is I was thinking instead of trying to always think of rhymes. But yeah, and that's why I originally wanted to record them, really, just to get them out of my head.
Yeah.
And then just get them out so I didn't have to keep thinking about them. But yeah, I think the lyrics are getting better as
your lyrics are stunning.
Oh.
I think like one of the things that I liked about the EP the most is the lyrics, because they're what's the word I'm looking for? Like
exceptional, splendid, unbelievable.
Yeah, all the above. No, but they're good stories. Like, no, like they all like tell like stories that are like well told, like in a short amount of lines. Like I feel like sometimes people over explain things because they're trying to tell their story, you know, and Jay knows how to cut it down, like cut all the fat out basically, and just leave like the meat there, and it works, you know, like so. Yeah, that's one of the things that I like the most.
Have you noticed though that on all the songs there's no chorus to any song?
Yeah.
What's the reason?
I have no idea. Yeah. I'm all right at doing like the story bit, but then I can't come up with the repetitive line sort of thing.
Yeah.
That everybody kind of like sings along to or
Yeah.
whatever. No.
Whether
But
they don't need one, I don't know.
well, I mean, the songs have like hooky riffs, you know. I think
Yeah, usually the guitar is the chorus.
Very hooky.
Yeah.
Like, anything you have is like people listening to it for the first time. It's kind of in their head for a little bit.
Oh yeah.
I think I've realised that. I think I write the riff before
Yeah.
any of
Which is
the
so important because that's what you want when someone leaves
The
the
hook.
stage. You
Hook.
want them to have that in their head. If it's
Yeah.
boring, people will just leave. If they have something in their head, they're going to stay.
Yeah, they say if you whistle it when you go to the toilet after you've been recording it, then you know you're on to a winner. My daughter, she's only 4. She keeps humming eccentric moves. I don't know if you remember that one. But
Is that
so,
right?
yeah.
Well, my daughter thinks that "Sitting in the Dark" is her song.
Oh,
She's like Daddy, can
that's so
yeah,
cute.
she's like, Daddy, can you play my song? And I know what that means, and I'll put on "Sitting in the Dark," and if it's in the car, she's in the back in the back seat. She hums it. She's like, she's like, oh,
That's
that's
so
cute.
cute. So, very
So well produced.
before a lot of people know, so I think the two of you, like, you have children the same age.
Yeah.
It's
So,
a bit weird.
well, yeah, it means that you and I, you know, get busier on the same time of year, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. You connect at the same time as well.
Our cycles are synced up.
I'm not having another one, Tony.
No. But listen, if you do plan on one, just let me know so we can, you know, like coordinate again and try to plan them out.
I will be protected.
No, so
You
funny.
still have your little diaries together.
Yeah, like
We'll have to
our
have the music as well.
our moon cycles are definitely. Now, like when we were doing the EP, like we were just coming in both like kind of tired, and then we got to talking, and then we realized that both our second kids were
Yeah.
gonna be due like literally a day or two apart. So I think
Oh.
yours is 2 days younger than mine. Is that right?
The 10th,
He's the 10th.
I think.
You think? I thought he was the 5th.
Yes.
How do I know?
Okay, I thought it was a third.
That's
Put
amazing.
that down. Put that down.
That's amazing.
It's fine.
It's too many days. Oh, no,
He's
Let me
yeah.
ask you very quickly. So,
Yeah.
for a lot of people who are listening, so let me ask you about the bands you're helping produce. Also, Jay, obviously, who's here beside us.
Yeah.
But yeah, babe, I'm here. But Elias Kid,
Yeah. So
Salvador.
yeah, there's Alias Kid. There's Adventures of Salvador. There's a band called Polly Bloom, which is kind of like actually Jay, you'd like them because they're kind of like a
It sounds
garagey.
like a name of a band that I'd like.
They're kind of like a garagey REM, if that makes sense.
Oh.
So they're pretty cool.
I thought they would have been more of a mandolin type.
No.
We're Polly Blue.
There's also there's a band called No Secret. Like he actually just put a video out, and that's something that I mixed for him. And then there's this brand new girl group. It's 2 sisters. They're from Cheshire.
Yeah.
And they're called Pool. Like that's the name of the band. And they are going to be releasing an EP. I think it's going to be, if not late this year, that'll be early next year, but we're like going to be going to the studio next month for it. But they are also raising money for something called the Steve Byrne Charitable Trust.
Amazing.
And Steve Byrne was their uncle who sadly passed away from cancer. And so the trust helps to raise money with the help of Ronald McDonald House to, I think, build like hospices for like terminally ill people.
Mhm.
And so the EP is going to be like part of that scene, like part of that trust. And I think like, you know, whatever they sell through that is going to be going towards that charitable cause, which is pretty cool.
Do
So
you know
yeah,
how
just,
people can contact them?
I'm sorry.
Do you know how people can contact them?
I know that if you go to Instagram, it's S Burn Trust, and it's BURNE Trust. So S Burn Trust. And I think they have a Facebook which has like a much bigger following. I know that they've raised something like well over 200,000
Wow.
pounds. Yeah, they've raised a lot of money and they've built stuff out already. So
Incredible.
they're doing great. They're doing really good. And then they came in, I think it was like 2 years ago, to the studio, maybe a year ago or something, to do just like a cover song. And I was like, wow, like they know how to sing. Like they're really, really good. And then they contacted me about putting out this EP, and I was like, yeah, let's do it. So it's going to be all original music. It's going to be kind of like Freya Ridings meets Haim, if you're familiar with those two bands, but kind of epic, kind of big, a lot of piano and stuff. And they're just phenomenal singers. So yeah, just like a lot of stuff's coming through, especially after lockdown. People that were meant to come in the last couple of months, but couldn't. So it's like makeup time now. And like Jay can also like attest to that too, because it's like I think we were meant to go into the studio in April, because we started in March. I think it was like mid or late March that we did our last session, and then we were meant to go back in April to finish guitars and vocals and all that, and then we couldn't. So that's what we're doing next. So like a lot of bands are now starting to hit
It's
up the
very
studio.
frustrating at the moment. Can I ask Jay about Vox? And people can still donate online.
Oh, on for the Hot Vox.
What else?
They can still donate on the link, which I'm sure Tony has got written in front of him.
No, if you go to Jay's Facebook, so it's
the link from the
yeah,
Facebook.
so it's Jay Dunn Music, so it's facebook.com/Jay Dunn Music. But if you go there, the link is there. You can still donate money to War Child UK.
And the video's still on there of the gig.
Yeah, which actually sounded pretty good, right? I mean, like I was pretty happy with the way it sounded.
The whole thing, and I was so impressed. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it was
My
really
sister,
cool.
yeah, my sister watched it at home and said she was gutted when we had to turn it off and we were carrying on.
Well, like the thing is that like YouTube, if you play copyrighted music, like somebody else's music, then they'll mute you on your live stream. So we don't want to do that. So we saved covers and stuff like that for the very end, and then we're like, yeah, we gotta shut you guys off now because we're gonna play for everyone that's here. Now what?
Some of them went on the YouTube.
I think one of them made it on, and I guess if YouTube gets wind of it, they'll just mute that last bit, or I'll edit it out or something.
Like, I think the set was stunning. I just loved it.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
It was good. We hadn't rehearsed and we've not played as a group since January.
Yeah.
No.
And no one had been and no one had learned anything I'd sent them. It was very good.
Well, I was.
Luckily, Tony can play the flute and read music.
Yeah. I was gonna play pan flute.
He was looking over people's shoulders.
Should we throw some pan flute on the next record?
Yeah.
We did riff on the cowboy
Now
song.
we found out Tony's new skill. Now that
Yeah.
something on the record.
I'll play flute. I don't care. Yeah. It's so some good stuff is definitely in the pipeline. I'm excited for Jay's stuff.
It's gonna sound big.
Yeah. And like
We're going to be big.
It's gonna get bigger than just big.
Just big. To be fair, I mean, we recorded stuff like differently this time, so like we're definitely going for like a vibier kind of sound. So I'm psyched for that.
It's going to be sick. And you're also on MMTV.
Oh, you went the other day, didn't you? You went on Saturday.
Yeah, I went this Saturday. I loved it. It was amazing.
You went to MMTV?
Yeah, this Saturday.
And Sweetmore, he's awesome.
Regina, Dave Sweetmore, who I've interviewed already, who will be on the show.
Yeah. Georgina's great. Yeah, they've got a great little setup there. Really good setup.
It's bigger now. It's even bigger setup now. I think they've got like a canteen and pool room.
They do, yeah. So they have it like set up because of lockdown. So you were before lockdown.
Yeah, so we were in lockdown, but
yeah.
Didn't up till after we left. So now they've got like a big separate room and everything.
Really?
Yeah, so it's like you go upstairs and then that's where the live bands are playing, and then you go downstairs and then they have like 4 or 5 different tables.
Yeah.
I love it. Like, it's actually a great vibe.
Oh, it's great. I mean, again, like going back to what I was saying before. I mean, there's a lot of really good music in Manchester. A lot of really like dedicated musicians, and
That's the most incredible thing. Is like you learn so much just from going to like these kind of gigs and like seeing how much talent there is out there.
yeah. I love it. I love this town. It's a great town.
It is.
It's that good. I've got a poster of it over there.
Where? Jay, throw the camera a little bit further so we can see him.
It might be backwards now.
Yeah.
No, I can see this fine.
Manchester. You can see it perfectly.
Manchester twinned with Barley.
Tony is one as well.
No, I don't have any posters of Manchester.
I'm
on
joking.
mine. Crap. I gotta find something now.
So, guys, Tony, you've removed your studio.
Yeah. We've opened up. Like we're pretty much fully booked for August, September. I mean, we've got a band coming up from Cumbria. I don't even know where Cumbria is, but somebody told me it's like far, and they're coming up and staying in town just to like record at Big City Jacks. But yeah, like, well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they said that they were like, well, like we want you to be the one to do it. So I don't know if they heard something that I'd done before, but they were excited.
Oh, the man, Tony.
Yeah, they were like, we heard that Circle of Five EP. We heard you're the guy. But yeah, we're pretty much we're almost fully booked for August. Almost fully booked for September. We're already getting October bookings. So again, like just a lot of people that want to get stuff done. People that have heard stuff that's come out of the studio. Yeah, like it's a good time. It's an exciting time right now at the studio.
That's incredible. Let me ask, do you have rehearsal spaces in our studio at all? Or
I'm sorry, the what?
rehearsal spaces?
Yeah. So people can rehearse at the studio as well. Like we've actually rehearsed there a couple of times. Like for like when we did the Glastonbury show, we did the Glastonbury festival that they have in Bury. Not like big Glastonbury, but in Bury there's a Glaston-Bury festival. But yeah, like we used the studio to rehearse. Yeah. That was a fun show. But yeah, like the studio's great. The gear's great. We got some good stuff there. If you're a drummer, like usually drummers come and they're blown away by the drums that we've got there. But yeah, so it's rehearsal and then it's also recording.
Incredible. And so how do people get in contact if they want to go to if they want rehearsal space?
They can go to the actual website. I believe it's bigcityjacks.co.uk. And then there's also a Facebook. So you can go to Facebook, /Big City Jacks. Recording studio, and yeah, I mean, like they can hit us up there, and then they'll be talking to either Colin or myself, and then yeah, we just get them sorted.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Jay,
Hi.
So how do people find you on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn? If anyone's not LinkedIn, but if anyone wants to listen to music, why did I say LinkedIn?
Tumblr.
It's so funny.
You're Reddit.
The left.
Who have I been talking to this last 3 or 4 weeks?
I'm thinking I'm going to try and remember this because I think it's very complicated. If they want to, Jay Dunn Music.
Yeah. So all right, it's Jay Dunn Music.
It's so complicated, Jay.
If I remember correctly, I think it's Jay Dunn Music on both Facebook and Twitter, and then it's official Jay Dunn on Instagram.
Okay, amazing.
Yeah, so you can see pictures of Jay.
And we're available as a covers band now as well.
Yeah.
Well, Cody's on the flute now, isn't he? So he's the bass player.
He does the American pie bit in the middle. Was she a flute?
And so, Jay, let me ask you very quickly. So, with the new EP that's coming out,
it's gonna be Circle of Five plus another side to make into a full vinyl album.
Oh. And so when's it going to be released?
5 with other songs spread into it. Pardon?
When's it going to be released, you know?
Well, I was hoping for until all this cheeky germ thing. I was hoping that it was going to be October.
Why couldn't the coronavirus wait?
I know, right?
But they have another record store day, don't they? I think they have 2 in a year.
Well,
Yeah.
I think they canceled the first one and they moved it to later in the year. I don't know if it already happened, but
I think
it-
the well,
I
there's
think
no
I think
mad
it's an,
rush. We're just going to
no,
make it sound very good.
yeah, like
It's gonna be
I think
fun.
I think we're gonna take our time to just make it sound the way that Jay wanted to sound. Like we just wanted to sound as cool as it can sound.
And
So
But
we've
I
got
think that's the most beautiful thing between two of you is like you have this gorgeous like working relationship, and so you both know how each other wants it to sound. If that makes sense. So you know how Jay's like artistic street. Do you know what I mean? Like
yeah. Well, I mean,
sound as he wants it to.
there's there's definitely a strain of musician nowadays, not so much back in the day, but nowadays that I feel I want to rush through everything. They just want to put something out right away, and so they'll come into the studio. Maybe they didn't change their guitar strings. Maybe the vocalist doesn't even know the lyrics or whatever, but they still try to rush through the whole process just to get the songs out. With what we've got going on, it's more about like let's make these songs what they're meant to be,
Yeah.
and try to make something beautiful, like try to make something that is fun to listen to and not rush it, you know, like just take our time to make it sound right, which is the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it should be. Like take your time with your art, don't rush your art, you know.
I'm so excited to hear it.
they're all very happy songs.
Yeah.
There is actually the cowboy one.
Hey, with you, I never know.
The cowboy one is great. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's a happy song.
I'd say
It's a great song though. I do love that song. That's a good song.
But then the other one, last page, that's
Oh, that's that's
it's
it.
very good. It's going to be big.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gonna be big. Gentlemen, as always, it's been a pleasure.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you
Same.
very much.
Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you both soon. And
Definitely.
thank you so much, and I can't wait to see the second side of the EP. And Tony, I'll be seeing you soon in the studio.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely. Absolutely.
See you
Thank
soon.
you so much, gentlemen.
No
Bye-bye.
worries.
Nice speaking to you both.
Cheers.
Thank you so
Bye-bye.
much. Bye, guys. So yeah, that was the incredible Jay Dunn and Tony Long. Was it? You enjoyed that, didn't you, Anya?
Did that an excellent interview, yeah.
Yeah, and so check out Tony's Facebook page, TL Audio Mixing and Mastering. So next we have a tune from Jay's very successful debut EP, Circle of Five. So you can find Jay on Facebook, Instagram, and Spotify. Just type in Jay Dunn. So this is Sitting in the Dark.
I know you gotta get away from here. Seems like it's been going on for years. But I can't take you where you wanna go. If they see me with you, then they'll know. Sitting in the dark. When he's home and quiet, then you light a spark. Running in the dark. You gotta be clean and only leave a mark. The lights are flashing, the noise is building up. Shaking like a girl that barely needs a hug. But if I get too close, I'll never get away. It'll never be the same as it was yesterday. Lying in the sun. Who knew I'd be the one who'd have to turn and run? Afraid of someone
And you can catch up with the full Irish every Sunday, and that's on from 3 to 5. Also, the Irish in the UK, and that's on every Thursday at 7:30. And you can listen to Mags on Cure Crack. She's on every Sunday from 5 to 7, and they're a good listen, actually. I enjoy all their shows. I mean, I tune in like every time they're on. So lots of variety of music. You've got country western, you've got Irish music, and they're three very good shows.
Yeah, completely. Yeah, and 2 other great shows I'll give a little shout out to are Louder Than War show. So you can listen to Nigel on Radio Alty every Wednesday at 9 p.m. And also a very new show is with Matthew Scott. So he's in a band called Last Clouds. We actually played on our first show, but his radio show, Indie Kids Don't Run, is on the second Monday of every month. And you can listen to that on Circle 8 on radio, 8 p.m.
Right, so that's a good to listen to as well, isn't it? So that's all we have got time for this evening, and thank you to all our viewers for tuning in. And hopefully we'll see you next week, same time, same place, from the O'Brien's Attic.
Yeah, so we're going to be back on Thursday, same time, same place. And we'll be talking to the incredible drummer, Neil Findlay, and the great musician, Tina Kane. So to finish you off, we're going to be playing Elias Kidd's track. So incredibly, they were the first band after Oasis to be signed to Alan McGee's label, Creation. That was back in 2015. And since then, they've gone on to support great bands such as Black Grape, The Happy Mondays. And this track, again, was produced by the brilliant Tony Long. So we hope you have a great week.
Yeah, I hope you have a lovely week and stay safe. And we'll catch up on Thursday evening, same time.
Yeah.